There are moments in life that seem small yet refuse to be ignored, like the quiet but persistent tapping of a bird at your window. To most people, it is just an animal acting on instinct, something random and easily dismissed. But what if it is not random at all? What if there is a deeper meaning behind that repeated visit, something that reaches beyond the physical world into the spiritual realm? Today, I speak not from theory, but from experience, from a past that opened my eyes to realities many choose not to see. What I once believed, practiced, and later walked away from revealed truths that completely changed how I interpret signs like these. Not every sign in your life is as simple as it appears, and not every moment should be brushed aside as coincidence. When a bird keeps returning to your window again and again, it breaks the pattern of ordinary life and demands your attention. Most people will laugh it off and say it means nothing. But deep down there is a quiet voice asking a question they are afraid to explore. I have lived in a place where ignoring signs was the norm, where everything was reduced to logic and surface-level explanations. But the truth is that not everything that happens can be explained away so easily. Some moments carry weight because they are meant to wake you up. There was a time when I believed that every unusual occurrence had a hidden layer, and not all of those layers were good. When something repeats itself in your life, especially in a way that feels intentional, you have to pause and ask why. A bird does not choose your window over and over without a reason. And even if the reason is natural, the effect it creates inside you is what truly matters. It creates curiosity, sometimes discomfort, and sometimes even a sense that you are being watched or called. That feeling should not be ignored because it is pointing toward your awareness. Awareness is the first step toward understanding what is happening around you and within you. But listen carefully, because this is where many people fall into fear or confusion. Not every sign is meant to harm you, and not every unusual moment is something to panic about. The danger is not in the sign itself, but in how you respond to it. If you rush to dark conclusions, you give power to fear, and fear clouds your ability to see clearly. Instead, you must stand firm and grounded, knowing that your strength lies in your ability to stay calm and aware. You are not powerless in the face of the unknown. You are capable of understanding and rising above it. What matters most is the message you take from the experience. Let it remind you that life is deeper than routine, and that you are not meant to move through it blindly. Moments like these are invitations to become more present, more aware, and more connected to your inner strength. You do not need to run from what you do not fully understand, but you also should not surrender your peace to it. Stand in your awareness, trust your intuition, and remain centered no matter what appears at your window. Because in the end, the greatest power you have is not in the sign itself, but in how you choose to respond to it. There are people who move through life seeing only what is in front of them, and there are others who feel that there is always something more beneath the surface. If you are someone who notices patterns, repeated moments, or small signs like a bird returning again and again, it may not be random at all. It may be a reflection of your inner awareness beginning to awaken. Spiritual sensitivity is not something to fear. It is something to understand and strengthen. It means your mind and your heart are picking up on details that others overlook. And while this can feel overwhelming at times, it is also a sign of depth and perception. Being spiritually sensitive does not mean you have all the answers, and it does not mean every feeling you have is perfectly accurate. What it does mean is that you have the ability to pause and sense the atmosphere around you in a deeper way. You may feel shifts in energy. You may notice when something feels right or wrong without clear evidence, and you may find yourself questioning things others accept without thought. This is not weakness. This is awareness trying to grow. The key is to develop balance, so that your sensitivity becomes a source of clarity instead of confusion. When you learn to ground yourself, your awareness becomes your strength. There was a time when I misunderstood what it meant to be aware, and I allowed every feeling to control my thoughts. That is where many people lose their way, because sensitivity without control can lead to fear. You begin to see meaning in everything, and instead of feeling empowered, you feel trapped by uncertainty. But true awareness is not about reacting to every sign. It is about observing with calm and wisdom. It is about asking questions without letting those questions consume you. You must learn to stand still inside yourself even when everything around you feels uncertain. When a moment like a bird visiting your window catches your attention, it is an opportunity to turn inward rather than panic outward. Ask yourself what you are feeling and why it matters to you. Let it guide you towards self-understanding instead of fear. Your sensitivity is not there to disturb your peace. It is there to sharpen your perception and deepen your connection with yourself. When you learn to trust your awareness without becoming controlled by it, you step into a place of quiet strength. And that strength is what allows you to walk through life with clarity and confidence. Discernment is one of the most powerful tools you can develop in a world filled with noise, opinions, and unexplained moments. When something unusual happens, like a bird returning to your window again and again, your first reaction might be curiosity or even fear. But what truly defines your experience is not the event itself. It is how you choose to interpret it. Discernment allows you to pause instead of react, to think instead of assume, and to remain steady when your emotions try to pull you in different directions. It is the ability to separate what is real from what is imagined, and without it, even the smallest moment can feel overwhelming. Many people either ignore everything or believe everything, and both extremes can lead them away from clarity. If you ignore every unusual sign, you close yourself off from awareness and growth. But if you accept every sign as something powerful without question, you risk losing your sense of balance. Discernment stands in the middle and gives you control. It teaches you to observe carefully, to question wisely, and to seek understanding instead of jumping to conclusions. You begin to realize that not every repeated moment carries a deep message, but at the same time, not every moment should be dismissed without thought. This balance is what keeps your mind clear and your emotions steady. There was a time when I lacked discernment, and I allowed every experience to define my state of mind. If something unusual happened, I immediately gave it meaning without reflection. That approach did not bring me clarity. It brought confusion and fear. I learned that without grounding yourself in truth and calm thinking, your mind can create stories that feel real but are not. Discernment changed that for me because it forced me to slow down and look at things as they are. It gave me the strength to question my own thoughts instead of being controlled by them. And that shift made all the difference. When you develop discernment, you begin to trust yourself in a deeper way. You no longer feel the need to react instantly to everything that happens around you. Instead, you take a step back, breathe, and allow your mind to process the situation with clarity. Whether the moment is simple or unusual, you remain grounded and aware of your inner state. This is where real strength is built, not in reacting, but in understanding. And when you carry that understanding into every part of your life, you become someone who is not easily shaken by uncertainty. In the end, discernment is what protects your peace and guides your path forward. In the end, the signs you encounter are not meant to control you, but to awaken something within you. Whether it is a bird at your window or any moment that stirs your thoughts, what truly matters is how you respond with awareness, balance, and clarity. You are not here to live in fear or confusion, but to grow in understanding and inner strength. When you combine awareness with calm thinking and strong discernment, you begin to see life with greater confidence and purpose. So do not ignore what you feel, but do not let it overpower you either. Stand grounded, stay aware, and trust that your greatest power lies in how you choose to see and respond to the world around you.